When it comes to the Project Fox, well, we've done quite a bit. The car's had a complete respray, and then when it comes to the engine, well, we took it from a 1.8 carb to a 1.9 fuel injected. But there is one thing that we have not touched, and that's been an issue for me since day one, and that's the interior. Now at first glance the seats don't look half bad, but the longer you look, the worse it gets. This is just common wear from the seats being, over 30 years old. When it comes to the interior of a VW MK1, well, almost everything's been done. From taking the original seats and recovering it in full leather, to swapping the seats out from everything from a Golf 5 all the way up to a Golf 7, and even a strange one, taking the entire interior from a Citroen DS and putting it into your MK1. Now for me, I can respect it, they look cool, but it's not my style. The original plan was to keep the interior looking standard and just fix the holes. However, after going to multiple people, they told me, look, it's not gonna work. Firstly, because you cannot find matching material for these seats. The ones that are the closest don't really match up and you can notice the difference. And thirdly, well, even if you patch the holes, well, it's just not gonna look good. So that only left me with one option, and that's to recover the entire interior. And I knew if I had to recover the entire interior, I had to do something special and something that was gonna stand out. Something that's not really out of the box, but something that's slightly different and I think will be a real head turner. So with that being said, it's taken me over a year to get this material. But before we can put the material onto the seats, well, we need to take the seats out. Now something else we also need to sort out is with the seats itself, because if there's a lot of movement, I don't want that. So we're also going to be fixing that in today's video. So the first things to get removed were the door pads. Starting off, as you can see, I removed the surround around the door handle, and all I needed was a flat screwdriver to remove the black plastic, which allowed me to get to the star screw to actually just remove the surround. Next up was the door handle. Now to remove the door handle, it's quite simple. All you need is a slightly large star screwdriver, and you just have to remove the two screws that hold the door handle in place. Then with it being an old spec handle, you just have to rotate it up to a certain point and it pulls off. After that, I tackled removing the speaker. Now the speaker was only held in by 3 screws that were stars. Yours may be different. And then I had an optional extra that you may not have, and that is having your door speaker being stuck on. Yes, to a point where I could not remove it properly and actually had to disconnect the wiring for the door speaker. And when I say disconnect the wiring, I cut it from the joint and disconnect it that way. So yeah, it would not come off its connectors. So to do that, well, I just pulled it off. Once again, this is an optional extra that you probably won't have to do. So before I actually cut the speaker wire, I decided to just move on to the window winder. So to remove this, I need a flat screwdriver, remove the cover, and then I grabbed a star to just remove the handle itself. And then lastly, I just removed the knob that adjusts the mirror. So with everything off the door pad, I then moved on to grabbing a flat screwdriver with a cloth to protect the paint and start working my way around the door pad, finding the clips that hold the door pad into place, and then carefully just working my way and loosening or getting the clips to pop out. And before I knew it, all the clips were out and I just had to actually use a thin screwdriver to just pull the actual cover off around from where the window winder sits, and that was my door card moved. So moving on to a back door card, it is very similar. It's the same process. You're gonna remove the door handle, window winder, as well as the surround around the handle. Only difference is you gotta remove the ashtray, but that's completely up to you. That only happens now after you get the door card off the car. Now as you can see, already got the driver's seats out. There's sitting in the sun. To get the front seats out, the main thing you need to focus on is underneath there. This, you're gonna want to screw it off so it can slide all the way back. And you need to get the spring off, because once you get the spring off, Then this will allow the lever to come allow this pin to come all the way out, and then this will now not block and keep the seats in place, so that'll allow the front to be free. And then in the back, well, we just gotta take this cover off here so it has more freedom, and this is just a single stop. Now for the back seats, it's quite simple because you see we have a 10 here, a 10 on the other side here, and then for the back parts of the seats, all we're gonna do is just pull up. That's all. The back seat, very simple, very easy to pull out, hence why we just left it for last. Now the material that took me over a year to find is this right here. This is the material that comes out of the Golf 7 GTE, an electric Golf that we never saw in South Africa, and is probably also one of the reasons why it was so extremely hard to find this material. The crazy thing about it is, after phoning multiple material shops, even visiting some in person, no one had this material. So somehow, on my usual scroll of Marketplace, I found the material. I had this thing in my car to ship from Europe, and somehow someone here in Durban on Marketplace had it, and I could not miss the opportunity to pick this material up. Now the plan was to recreate or reimagine the original seats with a modern design. Now I roughly marked it up as to what it will look like. Obviously the material is still a bit scrunched up. I mean, it's in a big bowl here. So the plan is to take this material, and we're also gonna run it on the door pad here. This is gonna be black, and same for the back door pad. Not a long piece on the back seat because I don't want it running all the way up. I know Mark ones often do have it running up, but I'm trying to keep it wherever you see this diagonal pattern, that is where this material will be placed. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of it all over this car's interior, but I think this material with the black also will just make this vehicle pop, or just make the black fabric pop out even more. So the day has arrived, we got the interior back, and without further ado, there we go. So this is the seats complete. Let me know your thoughts of these seats in the comment section down below. As I said, it's nothing really revolutionary or anything, because I mean, how many Mark 1s are out there with obviously the GTI check, but I went for something slightly different, as you can see, with the blue pattern, and I think it's really gonna pop, because I mean, if we come to the car, we have blue drums, calipers, also we have the blue mats in the car. It's the small details where I'm just trying to bring the blue into it, you know, accent colors almost. As you can see, I went for a black fabric right around the seats with a gray stitch. Unfortunately, we could not find a blue stitching to actually match this blue, so I don't want to put two different blues and then it's clashing. So I think the gray is very nice, it's very subtle, so that was the choice I went for, and here we are. If we come to the car, then we can see, so hold on, there we have the seats already in position. However, the only thing I need to bolt in place. I need to do that, install here, I need to paint this, so there's still a few things that we need to do. So with the handbrake, as you can see, I just masked up the handle here. I don't want to get any paint on that. A bunch of newspaper around it so no paint gets on the actual carpets of the car, because you can see the handbrake itself is not looking the best right now. The black has come off, it's looking a bit rusty, so I just sanded it down, get prepped for paint, I wiped it off, so now it is just ready for paint. So So now with it being prepped, I can just hit it with a young, you know. So that's what we're gonna do now. And haha, it's already looking a lot better. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just the handbrake lever. So we are just gonna hit it with a light coat of paint, nothing too drastic, to just give it a new lease on life. Now, something that we do need to sort out on the car, as I showed earlier in the video, was the seat shaking about. So to fix that, well, we went and got new bushings. So we got these which fit like this. On top here, it just slots in, and if you want a demonstration, it's just put a pressure and in. That's it. Simple as that, and hopefully, well, that should have fixed the issue. And it did, because if we look at the seat now and we try and move it about, or just try and shake it, there's no noise. No noise, no movement, nothing. Great success. But look, okay, let me jump out here quickly and give you what it looks like. So here we go. This is what the interior is looking like now. Tied in all together. The steering wheel is leaning a bit down because it is faded. Looking the best. Airbag spec steering wheel. As you know, still on the fence about it. There's the door pad too with it. As you know, no speaker on this one. So yeah, this is the interior. So I want to know the opinion of you guys in the comment section. Is the interior doing what it needs to do? Would you have preferred me leaving it stock? I was on the fence about leaving it stock, but then I thought, you know what? I've always wanted this interior, so let me just go for it and actually get it done. But hey, what I do need to hear from you all is, what do you all want to see me do next? Should I move on and do the sound system in the car, or am I changing the wheels again? I don't know. I'm going to leave that decision up to you guys in the comment section down below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.